Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. In today's tutorial, we are going to be working on March's block for the 2021 Directional Sampler Afghan. And as you can tell, today's direction is up and down. So this stitch combination is a shell and a popcorn. See the little pop, here, let me do this. There, now can you see the popcorns? It's a little hard when I hold it this way, but so it's going to consist of shells and popcorn, shell, popcorn, shell, popcorn. 2-row repeat. 1 row is chain, single crochet, chain, single crochet, chain, single crochet. 2nd row is shell, popcorn, shell, popcorn, shell, popcorn. That's it. And you repeat, repeat, repeat. So I'm hoping this one is a little bit easier. Get a kind of a break from the little more challenging blocks. But I did block this one, and this one is a little floppier than our other two, but that's all right. It's not going to hurt anything in the grand scheme of it. And let's see, what else? I think that's all I need to tell you. So I'll obviously, just a reminder, I'm using the yarn that I've chosen for our block. This, for our Afghan, actually. This is Crafter's Secret Big Idea, and the color is, I think it's turquoise. No, it's Fabulous. And it's just a 4-weight. And then we use the 6mm hook, just like always. Okay guys, let's get started on this one. Okay guys, to get started with our March block, we are going to start with a chain of 44. So the stitch multiple for this block is 6 plus 2. So 6 times 7 is 42, plus 2 is 44. I do want to say I've worked this block several times. This block has made me furious. I've gone up to 48, and by the time I've worked our row repeat, which is just 2 rows, my block has gone from 11 3/4 inches to like 13 1/2. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to redo this and lower the stitch count, and then I'm just going to have to block it. So depending on your guys' tension, you may need to work a smaller block, and then we block it to 12 inches. Or if your tension is really tight, then go up to 48. 6 times 8, 48, plus 2 is 50. And go from there. So for me, I've got a chain of 44 ready to go. So get your guys' chain ready and come back here. And we are going to start with row 1 is a single crochet and the 2nd chain from hook. So not this one, but this one. We're going to work a single, and all we're going to do is single crochet straight across this chain. Super easy. So if you guys want to go ahead and get that done and come back here, and I will meet you at the end, and we're going to move on to row 2. All right. Okay, I have come to the end with my single crochets, and to move on to row 2, we're going to chain 1 and turn. We're going to single crochet in our first single, skip 2, and into that next one we're going to work a 5 double crochet shell. So 1, 2, 3, 4, scooch that over, and 5. Okay, now we're going to skip 2, and we're going to popcorn into the next. Now a popcorn is going to consist of 5 double crochets at the beginning, just like this shell. So go ahead and work the 5 doubles. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, I should scooch that over. All right, so now what we're going to do to finish our popcorn is we're going to pull up a loop, take our hook out, go right into that first double of our 5 for the popcorn. So go right in there, put the loop back on your hook, and then put your finger at the top of your hook and pull your working yarn tight. And the reason we put our finger on is just in case it doesn't catch right there and come off your hook, and then you pull, then you just pull out all your stitches. Okay, so now we're just going to pull that loop through the first double crochet we put our hook on. Now if you notice, when your loop is at the top of your hook, it's a small loop, right? But if you push your hook through and the loop goes to the bottom, it's quite a larger loop, right? So by doing that, we can work our chain 1, and our chain 1 is a little bit larger. And the reason we need that to be a little bit larger is because in the next row we're going to be working a single crochet into that. So I'm going to come back in here, I'm going to pop that out, go back in there, put the loop on. Okay, so also with pulling that through there, I put my finger in there and let the double crochets kind of form around my finger, and that helps to form your popcorn also. So get my finger in there, push to the bottom so I get a bigger loop, and work a nice and easy chain 1. Nothing tight about it, so that way we can work into that into the next round. Alright, so now we're going to skip 2 and we're going to work our 5 double crochet shell. 1, 2, 3, scooch, 4, and 5. And we're going to skip 2 and popcorn into the next. So again, 5 doubles just like that shell. 2, 3, scooch, 4, and 5. Pull up a loop, go back into that first double, put the loop on our hook, block it with our finger, pull it down, pull it through, push it to the end of our hook so we get a larger loop, and easily chain 1. Skip 2 and we're going to shell again. And that's what we're going to repeat for row 2. Shell, skip 2, popcorn, skip 2, shell, skip 2, popcorn, skips 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so go ahead and repeat your shells and popcorns all the way across your chain or your single crochets here, and I'm going to meet you closer to the end, about 6 stitches away from our end, to show you guys how we're going to end the row. So I'm going to go ahead and repeat that across, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm coming to the end, and I've got 6 single crochets left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've worked a popcorn, so I'm going to skip 2, shell in the next. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I'm going to skip 2 and I'm going to single crochet into the very last single right there. Alright, that's the end of row 2. So now to move on to row 3, I'm going to chain 1 and turn, and I'm going to work a double right back into that single crochet we just worked. And then skip 2, and I'm going to single crochet into the next double crochet, which is going to be the third double of our set of 5. So 1, 2, single crochet into the third. And now we're going to chain 2 and skip 2, and the very next stitch is going to be that chain that we did at the end of our popcorn, and we're going to single crochet right into that. Chain 2, skip 2, single into the next, which is the third double of our set of 5, chain 2, skip 2. The next one is the chain 1 at the end of our popcorn. Now I've noticed that if you just take your finger and kind of lay that popcorn over, you can work that single crochet into that chain 1 a little bit better. Chain 2, skip 2, single into the next, chain 2, skip 2, single into the next, and repeat that across, and I'm going to meet you guys at the end. Okay, I'm coming to the end. I've single crocheted into the back, or into that chain 1 at the back of my popcorn. I'm going to chain 2, skip 2. Next one's the 3rd double in my set. So I'm going to single there. And now I'm not going to chain 2. I'm just going to skip straight over, and I'm going to work a double into that very last stitch. So I skip 2. There's our last one. And I'm going to work a double. And it's a little bit of a stretch. But there we go. There is our double. And that is the end of row 3. So now we chain 1 and we turn, and we're going to move on to row 4. So row 4, we chain 1 and we turn, and we're going to work a double right back into that double that we made that big stretch to make. We're just going to double crochet right into that. And now we're going to work 5 double crochet shell into that single crochet right there, right, that we just worked into the top of that shell. We're going to work a shell into that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, I need to scooch, and 5. There. All right, now we're going to come over, and that single crochet at the back of our popcorn, we're going to work a popcorn. And that's the 5 doubles. 2, 3, scooch, 4, missed that one. So basically what this row is going to be, working a shell into the single crochet in our shell, and a popcorn into the single crochet at the back of our popcorn. So that's 3, 4, and 5. Pull up a loop, come out, go into the first double, put that loop back on. Oh crap. Mess that up. 4, rework my 5th one, pull up a loop, go back in there. If you guys can hear that sound in the background, that is the wind. We are under a wind advisory today because it is blustery. Okay, now pull that through there, put the loop to the end of your hook with my finger in there, and chain 1. And now we come straight over to that next single, and that's in our our shell, and we work a shell. And that is what we are going to repeat for row 4. 2, 3, scooch, 4, and 5. So go ahead and repeat that across. Popcorn into the single crochet at the back of your popcorn, shell into the single crochet that's in the shell, popcorn, shell, all the way across, and I will meet you guys at the end. All right, I'm coming to the end of our row, and I've just worked our shell into the single crochet in the top of our shell, and I've got 1 stitch left, and that gets our double crochet. Now I chain 1 and turn, and we are just going to repeat row 3. Double crochet, and we're going to come straight across and single into our 3rd. So you skip 2, single into your 3rd, and now we chain 2, single into the chain 1 at the back of our popcorn, chain 2, skip 2, single into the 3rd double of our shell, chain 2, skip 2, single into the chain 1 at the back of our popcorn, chain 2, skip 2, single, chain 2, skip 2, single in the chain 1, chain 2, skip 2, single, chain 2. Trying to get through this real fast to finish it with you guys. And we single into the chain 1, chain 2, skip 2, single into the third, chain 2, skip 2, single, chain 2, skip 2, single, chain 2, skip 2, single, chain 2, skip 2, single into the third, and we don't chain 2 at the end. We just come straight over with a double into the very last stitch. And that is going to be our repeat, guys. We're going to repeat rows 3 and 4, 3 and 4, 3 and 4, okay? And that's what it's going to look like. So the direction of this block is going to be the popcorns going up, you know, up and down this direction, whereas our last one was going this direction, left to right. Okay, so repeat rows 3 and 4, 3 and 4, until our block measures 12 by 12, and I will come back and I'm going to show you guys how many rows I've repeated to get it to 12 by 12. Okay guys, so I have worked my block, and I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13 popcorns. Now I want to start off by saying, so when I was working this block, I knew that it's not 12 inches. So my plan is that I'm going to block it, and if you look, you see how it's kind of, I don't want to say bunched together, but it kind of is. So like whenever I pulled it out on my blocking mats and I pinned it to 12 inches. So it kind of pulls apart a little bit, not by much. I mean, it's not a struggle to get this to stretch to 12 inches. But, you know, I stretched it to 12 inches. And then I started working on it, and I was like, oh, and I'm working on it this way, you know, and I'm thinking, okay, is it 12 inches? So I'd stop and I'd pin it to my mats and at the, you know, the width of 12 inches. And then I would, you know, pin it nice and square, and then I would measure, and I see, okay, it's at 11 inches. I need to keep going. And then I just kept repeating that. I'd work so many rows, and then I'd stop, and I'd pin it to the width of 12 inches. And then I would make sure it was nice and square. And then I would measure the length, and I'd measure right between the popcorns, right on top of the shells. And I'd see, okay, hey, I'm right at 12 inches, so I'm good. So right now, yes, it does look a little bit wonky, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to pin this on my block and make it nice 12 inches by 12 inches, and then I'm going to block it. I'm going to steam it with my iron, let that dry, and then I'm going to come back and show you guys what it looks like. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I forgot to mention, stop on row 4. And I am just gonna, I already chained one, so I'm gonna find scissors and cut and pull that tight, and I'll weave that in later. Okay, now I'll be back. Okay guys, here is my block after I have blocked it, which I realize is a little hard for you guys to see the popcorns. There, you see them? All right. Now, after I've blocked this one is a little bit flimsier than the other ones, but that's all right. I'm perfectly happy with it. I still haven't weaved in my ends yet. All right, guys. I am going to get out of here. I want to thank you guys for watching and taking time out of your day to watch one of my videos. I appreciate it. And I truly hope you guys know that I do appreciate it. And I thank you guys so very much. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Hit that thumbs up button. And then hit that bell next to the subscribe button. And then hit all so you don't miss a notification from me or an upload. And hey, in the description box, I have got links to my Facebook group, my Instagram, my Etsy shop, and another YouTube channel I have where it's me cooking, and then sometimes it's me and my family just goofing off. you know, my kids. Anyway, hey, also leave me a comment. I love it when you guys leave me comments. I read those. Granted, I know I don't get to them as often as I should, but I do read every single one of them. And I will try to reply to all of them as often as I can. Yeah, that's it. So, thank you guys again so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.